Before we get into this episode, there's something that might be of interest that I wanted to tell you about. Scene and Heard, who run this podcast, have been asked by Scotland Food and Drink to undertake a strategic review of the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Now, these Excellence Awards have been going for almost 20 years and are a huge mainstay of the food and drink sector. But it's time to ensure that they're still relevant. So if you have ever been involved in the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards, or even if you've ever had an opinion about them, we would love for you, please, to complete our survey. So if you go to the OnFARM Twitter, which is at @on_farm UK, and click the link in the bio, there will be a tab in there that will take you to the survey, and it should only take you a very short while to complete, but we would be enormously grateful. My name's Anna Davis, and I wanted to let you know about a brand new Scottish rural podcast called OnFARM. We will be going around the country talking to interesting people, hearing about interesting businesses, and telling you the interesting stories from all over rural Scotland. So please tune in and listen.
Noddy's very much a rural character. Was it not the story that you told that your father had, was it Fiats in the old days, and you refused to drive them, and that's how you ended up going into the sewage business?
Fiats wasn't a bad tractor, though, the International 494, I think it was. But I'm a John Deere man. Nothing runs like a deer, and some people say there's nothing as dear as a John Deere.
The aim of our podcast is to showcase all that's great about rural Scotland. So that might be farming stories, it might be enterprise, it might be innovation, it might be diversification, or it might simply be people who've done wonderful things in their farming careers.
Co-ops in general are very, very successful, long-established businesses.
I'm looking at huge, big brown boxes of broccoli crisps, which are delicious, and I can see chilli flavour, cheese flavour. Better count those when we leave in case I've smuggled one under my coat.
You always feel as a farmer you've got to be working hard. Now, working hard doesn't necessarily mean your hands are in the soil all the time, or on the sheep's backs or whatever it is you're doing.
So far we've recorded episodes in Aberdeenshire, in Fife, in Edinburgh, in the Borders, and we're not stopping there. We're going to be travelling all over the country, and maybe even a trip to Skye or further afield.
Biodiversity and how the farmers farm with the environment and nature round about them as well is really important.
What might be some of the warning signs, if you're worried about your neighbour or a relative?
I mean, they could be too long to list, but if you're talking about the farmyard, is it less tidy than it used to be? Is there things not getting done on farm that used to be getting done before?
From the 6th of January, you can find us by searching OnFARM wherever you get your podcasts. So please join us and listen to our stories of Scottish rural life today.
Listen, it's free. We're farmers, so you're on a winner before you start.